Here are the youths, they are telling the elders like us what they expect from us and how they can take the leadership. There are three young ones. They're all teenagers, believe me. I've seen their ages, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. Please take the phone.
Growing up in America, you're exposed to many, many different cultures. Your friends, especially in high school, you learn about a lot of them in class. And obviously, for us, the two cultures that we're very exposed to are the American culture and the VSNA culture. And both of these cultures share similar values. Most cultures share similar values. And a lot of them are Basavarna's basic principles. Charity, equality, work, and knowledge. So the only difference between these two cultures is the way they apply these values. Even that happens similarly, but sometimes they're different. And that's where the issue comes for us. We need to sort of balance what we do, balance our VSNA culture and American culture, because we are part of both. And so one aspect of life where this takes place is in our social lives and in our interactions with other teenagers. So here in America, in school, we are seen as individuals. We're not seen as classes. We are not seen as different genders. We are seen as individuals. So I am an individual. Akash is an individual, and Manisha is an individual, and all three of us can achieve the same, and we have the same ability to achieve, and we have the same ability to do the same things. And however, in India, when you see you look at in India, you're seen by where you come from, your background, and sometimes that can limit where you come from. Also, when we are interacting ourselves between different genders, an issue often comes up. In America, when just talking, a girl and a boy talking in the neighborhood, it's casual, it's normal, it's nothing to think of. However, sometimes Indian parents, not all of them, but sometimes it's like a little red flag. It's like, what's happening? And when you get home, it's like, who's that boy? What were you doing? And so, the reason for this is because our parents were brought up this way, and that's the way that they've known when they were younger. And that's the way that they think it is in India, which it may have been when they left about 15 years ago. When they left, it might have been that way. Their intentions are very good, but times have changed, and sometimes parents have difficulty grasping that India has changed since they have left it. And so they do try to enforce the 20, 30 years ago India on us, because they feel that that is how it still is, and that is how they were brought up, so that is how we should be brought up. Another example of this is in our jobs and career choices. In school, with our guidance counselors tell us, you can be anything. You can look into this, you can look into that, you can go into college undecided, you can explore all these different things. And that is true, we can. But with our parents, it's sort of not spoken, but there is a little bit of a limit to that. When our parents were younger, but the majority of the people thought that the acceptable jobs were engineering and being a doctor. And so, since those were the acceptable jobs when they were younger, now it is almost the two jobs that we have as choices. A lot of times I find myself, like when I'm talking to an auntie or an uncle, they ask, so are you looking into engineering? No. So you're going to be a doctor then, right? So You know, I mean, I want to be a doctor, but that's because I want to be a doctor. I don't feel that pressure, particularly at my home, but I have seen people go through that pressure. So nowadays in India, the changes have changed drastically. That is not the only choices. Those are not the only acceptable jobs in India. And also another thing that has changed in India is our marital practices. I've heard stories about people in America, Veershaiva youth or Indian youth in America, that have been forced to marry someone from India because that is the way that their parents were brought up, or that is what their parents did when they were younger, and so that's what they feel that they should do now. This sometimes goes for the better, sometimes it's for the worse. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, I'm just saying it does happen. And the reason for this, once again, is because 20 or 30 years ago in India, this is what was happening. And our parents left India then and feel that it's almost frozen in time there. So our parents have good intentions, I'm sure of that. They never want to hurt us. They always have our best interests in mind. They have a feeling, okay, so since we were brought up this way and now we are successful, if we bring our children up the same way, then they will be successful, which is logical, but times have changed. So with the same good intentions, if parents would step into our shoes and look at the world from our point of view, then we'd get good results. And one way to do this is to listen to us. Not only hear us, but actually listen and see where we are coming from. This needs to happen from both ends, too. The parents have to listen to us, and we also have to listen to the parents. The parents need to just put themselves into our shoes, and things would run a lot smoother, and you'd be able to see each other's point of view much easier. And the teens, I can say, we just need enough patience to listen to what our parents said, to our parents' point of view and what they feel. And if we did that, I know it sounds cheesy, but things would work out so much better. To also have this type of relationship, parents do need to step out of the role of a parent for a little bit. They need to act as our friend. If we are on an equal power level, then things run so much smoother and you feel so much more comfortable. When parents have more power than us, then you don't feel as comfortable, and you don't feel as comfortable saying what you want to say. There are certainly some situations where parents do have to exercise their authority, but if we had that mutual power level, then we would definitely gain more respect. Us for our parents, and our parents for us. This is very important, especially for the first generation Veershaivas, because we are very confused. We are stuck in the middle of our American culture and our Veershaiva culture, and we really need to, we're already mixed up. I mean, teenagers are already mixed up. And then there's us, mixed up, pulled in different, like, we're not adults, we're not children, we're not Americans, we're not Veershaivas, we're not anything. So if this type of relationship doesn't happen, what happens is we almost develop an aversion toward the culture, which nobody wants. It's a lose-lose-lose situation. Our parents lose us, we lose our culture, and our culture, there's a discontinuity in the culture. However, if we do have this community of respect and we do mutually respect each other, then we would want to pass this on to our kids, and that would that would improve our relationship with our parents. It would continue the religion, and that is a win-win-win situation. So I know that I've sort of touched on some touchy topics, and my parents are very open-minded. This is not about them. No, but seriously, they are very open-minded. But hopefully I've triggered you all to think about these topics in your minds, maybe not with other people, but at least just go over it and think about what I've said today. I feel very passionate about this. If any of you would want to discuss it further with me, just come find me. You can email me after the convention. You can find me during the convention. I'd be happy to talk to you. So thank you very much for hearing what I have to say.